Charlotte, North Carolina, a glittering jewel in the crown of the New South, a shining beacon of civilization and sophistication.
Go Terps! Go to snap with turtles! Fear the turtle! Fear the turtle! I'm loving it, baby.
A place where the best and the brightest can speak their minds.
Come on, Tony!
Where people come together to share a passionate goal.
Anybody but North Carolina, that's right. Anybody but North Carolina, yeah.
Or to battle for completely opposite ones.
We meet later, after the game's over, and we are not to speak of the game at all. It's not even to talk about.
Yeah, that's rivalry.
It's a city of excitement, a city of opportunity. And for 4 days in March, there's no place in the city like the Charlotte Coliseum, where the 9 universities in the Atlantic Coast Conference come out fighting for the right to wear the prestigious ACC Tournament crown.
Anytime you bring 9 schools together, there's a certain passion and emotion about it when all 9 come into one place that is special. And I think our league is a little different from others at tournament time, because what you see at this tournament is that all of the fans are here regardless of who's playing. And if your team isn't playing, the fans are here anyway. And I think that's what makes it special.
The ACC tournament had its special moments. It had its surprises and its expected endings. It had its hordes of media coverage.
ACC tournament year in, year out is second only to the NCAA Final Four in terms of media credentialing, media interest.
Wake Forest and the Duke Blue Devils, and what a rivalry this has been over the years.
It beats any NCAA regional, it beats any NCAA sub-regional, and I don't believe there's another conference tournament out there that credentials as many media as we do.
And of course, it had its usual suspects. But most important, it had 9 teams on the warpath.
The fans are rolling in for tonight's first game, which features Georgia Tech taking on Florida State, which indeed could be the final game for head coach Bobby Cremins.
The beginning matchup of the 2000 tournament pit 2 teams with completely different histories against one another. Here were the Seminoles of Florida State, the new kids on the ACC block, coming to Charlotte with a wave, a chant, and some serious on-court presence. The Noles' opponent was conference veteran Georgia Tech, with a coach in his 19th and final year as leader of the Jackets.
Got my T on upside down as a tribute to Bobby. We're all trying to do that. We love Bobby.
We don't run out there, yo. Let's go. We got to do this. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team.
These kids right now are playing for Bobby.
But it was Florida State who burst out of the gate first.
Big Jelly spins around, shot up and over, hook shot, takes it to Collier and scores 11-4. Big Jelly going to work in low. 6 on the shot clock. Ron Hale on Akins to the top of the circle, puts up the off-balance jumper. Good shot, Hale. Sneaker on the arc. Rebound, one, Delvon Erickson. Down the court it goes to Ron Hale. Showtime, Ronnie, slam, dunk city.
As Cremins and company looked on, the Seminoles rolled up a 9-point second-half lead. A good start for FSU fans, particularly if you happen to live with a coach.
Coach's wife, tough job. I'm doing pretty good. Actually, I wish I were playing. You know, effort, effort, effort. It's all about effort.
Then the tide started to turn for Tech.
Getting in his face. Now the pass, low post, back to Akins. His 3-ball, right side wing, good. Inside, outside game, cooking for the Yellow Jackets, that trip down.
Stolen by Vines. TJ, left corner to Fine. Back, standing 3, Vines, good! TJ Vines, and for the first time tonight, Randy, this crowd has got a little juice to it. 3-point game, the lob to Jones. Alvin backing down on Mott, holding high. He'll roll into the lane, turn back to the glass, and dunk it home. Tech to within 1 with 3:24 to go, and Tech uses another 30-second timeout here, Randy. This is the closest they've been since halftime.
But Ron Hale, who had had a hot hand for the Seminoles throughout the game, stayed cool under fire.
3-point shot, Ron Hale got it to go. Deep basket by Ronnie Hale, 56-52.
With 7 seconds to go, another jam by Alvin Jones pulled Tech within 2.
Now listen to the crowd here at the Coliseum. Tech's got a chance.
But Hale's 2 free throws from the line nailed it for Florida State and closed the Cremens era at Tech.
My run is over. I'm really proud of it. It's never easy leaving this business, and because of you, I feel like I'm walking out on top.
If the first game of the evening served as a swan song for a beloved coach, the tournament's second face-off showcased the top-ranked Duke Blue Devils. Duke survived a mass exodus the year before to wrap up their 3rd consecutive regular season ACC title. The Devils came to Charlotte the favorite to repeat as ACC tournament champions. However, first they'd have to take on the ACC's leading scorer, Will Solomon, and his Clemson teammates. It's not like Tiger fans had delusions of grandeur.
Who's your guess? Who's going to win the tournament? Duke.
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 Unfortunately.
Even though.
But I'm still hoping we're going to pull the upset of the century.
But they were there, dressed in full orange regalia.
Yeah, Tiger!
Well, almost all of them were.
Well, you know, the problem is if you're a South Carolina graduate, Clemson fans will not allow you to wear orange.
Clemson kept it close early.
Ray underneath, got crowded there, so he kicks it out. Solomon gonna lift a 3, get it! Will hits his second 3 of the game, and it's 15-12. The Tigers within 3 again.
But the Blue Devils, with some dazzling inside moves and stellar outside shooting, soon gave Tiger coach Larry Shiat major headaches. Leading the Duke barrage was freshman phenom Mike Dunleavy, back from a bout of mono to go 4 for 4 from three-point range.
Dunleavy 3 is good. Mike Dunleavy is back.
By game's end, Duke had hit an ACC tournament record 17 three-pointers.
Shane Battier for 3. Yes, sirree. How sweet it is.
And showed why they were number 1. As for Clemson, who could only scratch their heads at Duke's mastery, it was wait till next year.
Duke may have won this battle, but there will be more in the years ahead, and Clemson will succeed.
It's Frantic Friday at the ACC Tournament. 3 games in one day. So grab a ticket and come on in. But first, you may want to choose a team to root for.
Wearing yellow for Wake Forest, and I have a red shirt in my bag that I'm going to put on for the state game tonight. And I'll be wearing Duke blue tomorrow.
You can make a decision and stick to it.
Carolina doesn't make it, who's going to be your second choice?
I have no second choices. There's no such thing.
Or you can take the high road and remain objective. Sort of.
We root for good basketball.
What's good basketball? Who do you think's going to win the tournament?
Wake Forest, of course.
On the road to the ACC title, everyone's a pundit.
Virginia's winning the tournament, and my colleague above will concur that.
Who's going to win the tournament?
UVA.
Maryland's going to win.
Maryland's going to beat Florida State. Wake better take Carolina. We get Virginia tonight. Beat Maryland tomorrow. Duke mops Wake, and we got Duke on Sunday, right? Piece of cake.
Well, at least Charlotte's finest have their priorities in order.
Yeah, I don't even know who's playing, actually. It's just a job.
And those people in the light blue uniforms, they're different from anyone else.
Is that Carolina? Is that you talking about?
Those men in light blue, the Tar Heels from the University of North Carolina, squared off against the Wake Forest Demon Deacons in the first contest of the day, the latest matchup in a long and vaunted rivalry.
Does North Carolina come in this game feeling they got to win to get in the tournament? If so, it means more to them. If they're sitting on their laurels thinking they're already in, it's just another game, that may benefit Wake.
The paint pulls up, gives the line, ball fakes underneath and dunks it. There up top it goes Singala, thought about a 3, instead will drive it in, shot up, off the glass and good for Singala.
With the left hand, too.
Spins, gives to Shoemaker, 5-4, Dawson, long jumper up, good, 3-point shot for the sophomore from Kinston, North Carolina. Up top O'Kelly, now left to Murray, driving on Cota, little runner, good. The big, tall arms, Mark, of Irvin Murray goes over to the top of Cota.
Let's go, defense!
At the half, Wake Forest was up by 7, but then the Heels came to life.
Ball might have gotten knocked to Capel. Capel in the lane.
feeds Peppers for the slam dunk. Got it off to Peppers, shoots a runner right of the lane, and it's good. It's 40-36. Carolina closing to within 4.
Jason Capel's inside bucket put the Tar Heels within 1 of the Deacons. And minutes later, his foul shots put Carolina ahead.
It's good. 14 for Capel. The Tar Heels, 12 minutes ago, were 9 down. Now they are 1 up, and Wake is taking...
But then Deacon guard Robert O'Kelly, held scoreless in the first half, went on a tear.
Out front to O'Kelly. O'Kelly against Forte, driving, layup, good. 56-52, he pulled a string on the freshman.
Carolina tried desperately to stay in the game, but as their shooting cooled off, time began to run out on the Tar Heels. Carolina and their fans could only watch in frustration as their team came up short in their effort to overtake the Demon Deacons. For the triumphant Wake Forest faithful, it was the sweetest of victories. And for Carolina, it was only the 3rd time in the past decade that they had failed to advance to the semifinals at the ACC Tournament and marked the end of a difficult regular season.
I think in a lot of ways, I've been spoiled, Carolina fans have been spoiled by the consistency and the consistency of success. And as close as I am to the team, I'm not really sure why they struggle this year. But I don't think the struggles are of a long-term nature.
In fact, Carolina's struggles did end. 2 weeks after the ACC tournament, they would give their fans plenty to cheer about as they marched to the Final Four in the 2000 NCAA tournament. Less than 24 hours after their dramatic defeat of Georgia Tech, the game but somewhat fatigued Seminole team prepared to meet the swift and powerful second-seeded Terrapins of Maryland. In order to win, the Seminoles would have to contain Terp inside menace Lonny Baxter, a feat easier said than done.
Wow, they got the weapon. 17-12 to go. Taken away and head to Baxter. Showtime! Slam dunk city by the big fella. 14-5. Knowles may need a timeout.
Steve Robinson pleaded his cause. But the Noles found that containing Baxter was about as easy as stopping a runaway train, which is what the Terp attack resembled from beginning to end.
And then the Seminoles lose the ball on the far side, picked up by Miller. Here's Dixon, layup is good on the break, and Dixon's got 4, and the Terps up again by 9.
It proved a long afternoon for Florida State, their coach, and their fans.
Everything over.
They haven't missed any.
All the shots, free throws.
They must be shooting 80% today.
Maryland sliced their way through the Seminoles. And as the Terrapins dazzled on the court, Terp fans made some noise themselves. By the time the final gun sounded, the Terps had sent the Seminoles back to Tallahassee on the low end of a 21-point rout. No doubt about it, the Terps are a frightening bunch. There's a break in the action at the Charlotte Coliseum. Time for a quick poll. Whose conference is this anyway?
This is clearly a North Carolina conference. First of all, the best basketball teams and football teams are here in North Carolina. And secondly, this is sort of the heart. The Tar Heel State is the heart of the ACC. That's one of the reasons we have the tournament here.
Well, it'd be better if it was in South Carolina one year, but ACC tournament's very good.
Well, the ACC tournament's the most important thing in North Carolina. It's, you know, basketball is our great sport. We love it throughout the ACC, and while we compete against each other very strongly, we all pull for all the ACC teams when it's over with.
Yeah, but he's the governor. He has to be impartial.
No, I'm not impartial at all. I'm an NC State man.
The Governor's team took to the hardwood in Friday's last game, a matchup between the Wolfpack and the University of Virginia Cavaliers. The Pack came onto the court a slight underdog to the Cavs, who had climbed from the conference basement in '99 to the ACC's #3 seed in 2000. On the other hand, the Pack may have some friends in high places.
I tell you what, I think God's on everybody's side, and hopefully it helps the Pack deep, real deep, the best resource, and play their best. That's all we ask.
And in the game's opening minutes, State was quite simply divine.
Gainey to Wilkins, left wing, down underneath the end, who drives and puts it up and rolls in. Gainey down the floor quickly, to the line, to the lane, to the hoop, scores, Justin Gainey. Cross courts it to Wilkins. Wilkins left to the lane to Kelly, turns, he fires on Don and got the jump hook.
All night, baby, that's there all night.
Before UVA could catch its breath, State opened up a 13-point lead with a shooting barrage that left the Cavs seeing double. But Virginia refused to be blown away. Slowly but surely, the Cavs fought their way back.
Friel going to get it. Grundy battling for it. Friel at the wing left. Friel wants the jumper left side. Got it for three. Keith squaring up and hits it left wing. The big three.
With some nifty long-range shooting and some dazzle inside, UVA gave their fans something to cheer about. State led by 9 at the break, but in the second half, their shooting cooled down. Meanwhile, the Cavs continued to peck away at the score.
Donald delivers right wing, the three, and the Cavs.
And a turnover, Virginia basketball. Sorry, I'm starting to get excited here.
And with some red-hot shooting, UVA surged ahead.
Keith Friel makes the Cavalier lead, 39-38, the first lead of the game for Virginia.
But then State awoke and slammed the door on the Cavaliers. The Pack closed out the game with a shooting flourish that delighted fans of all ages. Well, most fans. The victorious Pack would be back the next day to play Maryland, bringing back memories of a classic 1974 matchup.
What about State versus Maryland tomorrow? Does that bring back certain memories of another ACC tournament game?
Yeah, we always had great battles against Maryland. I think all 3 of my varsity seasons, we played Maryland in the ACC tournament. Fortunately for us, we always won a very close game, and I think it's going to be another great State-Maryland game tomorrow.
The tournament's down to its final 4, and around the Tailgaters parking lot, it seems like something's missing. Or is it?
My brother is very disappointed, though, because his Tar Heels went down yesterday. And he's taking a trip. He's walking around the parking lot. He's trying to get a hold of himself a little bit.
I'm trying to get the symbolism behind this. It's half-mast.
You're a Duke fan, aren't you?
No, I'm impartial.
You're impartial. We're not here today, but it's okay. It doesn't matter.
Any commentary about that?
No, we're all sad, and I should have wore black today, but we're still got the flag raised. It is half-mast.
Well, they went down kind of in flames yesterday.
And how do you feel about that?
That was good.
We really feel bad about only being one blue left, but I mean, you know, it's got to be somebody, so it better be dark blue rather than light blue, right?
With Carolina out of the picture, what team do tailgaters most love to hate?
It's not ABC anymore, it's ABD.
We don't like Duke, we hate Duke. That's the one thing we agree on.
Wait a minute.
ABC, anybody but Carolina. Well, tomorrow it'll be ABD, anybody but Duke.
ABWF. Anybody but Wake Forest.
So you have an ABC or an AB with something that would end differently right now? Like ABM, ABN?
No, we'll stick with ABC. We like ABC a lot around here.
Tailgaters are always welcoming.
I was going to say, we got all kinds of food here. We got shrimp, and tonight we're going to have prime rib, cooked right over here on the grill.
They're generous about one another.
This is my buddy here who had several years ago became obsessed with the wrong direction in life, and hence the hat that he's wearing today.
Good story.
Carolina and State and Duke. We got all 3. Of course, we're all being nice to each other right now, you know.
They understand how to stay tranquil at all times.
Well, I'm pretty calm right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm calm, relaxed.
because we feel good about the situation. Going to send another North Kakalaka team home for the night. Woo, Terps! Go Terps! Go give me a snapping turtle, baby. That's a snapper. That's a snapper.
And best of all, they have their priorities in order.
How important is tailgating? How important is this right here?
Well, we didn't know till today they were playing games in there.
Well, there were actually games played at the Charlotte Coliseum on Saturday, as anyone lucky enough to have a ticket can attest.
Welcome back inside the Charlotte Coliseum. We are counting you down to tip off Wake Forest and the Duke Blue Devils. And what a rivalry this has been over the year. 214th meeting today.
Up against their top-rated rivals, Wake Forest knew it would have to play hard in order to have any chance against the Devils. And in the first half, that's just what they did.
Here comes the bounce to Murray past the line. Loops it to Sagala. Runs in for the slam dunk. What a feed by Murray. And Vittoretta crams it down for his 4th point. The Deacons have a 12-7 lead. 20 to shoot. Left side feed. Here's Broderick Hicks to the top of the circle. Jump shot. Good. 3-point shot. Broderick Hicks. Wake on a run here. It's going to be 2-on-2. Dawson will pull and fire. The jump shot, good for Dawson. He continues to shoot well, and the Deacons lead again by 7, 20-13.
Duke, which got off to a sluggish start, stayed in the game through solid teamwork and some aggressive drives to the basket.
Front court, top of the circle, left side, fakes a 3, gets it down the left side to Carrawell. He'll dribble back up the arc, drops it down for Battier, wheels around Sakaya, straight to the hole, got the basket to go in heavy traffic and under a lot of duress.
But Wake Forest, on a first-half shooting tear, went to the locker room with a 1-point halftime lead. The Deacon lead was sweet, but short. In the second half, the Blue Devil shooters awakened, led by a man named Shane, and pushed past Wake for a ticket to the championship.
Blue Devil fans across the way come to their feet with applause for this Duke team.
If there's been a better leader in this league than Shane Battier in I don't know how many years. I don't know how far you'd have to go back to find a young man who can lead like he can lead and still play at the very highest level.
And for the 23rd time, the Duke Blue Devils are in the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship game here at the Charlotte Coliseum.
Duke's opponent would be the winner of the next game. And between the contingent of Maryland faithful and Pack followers, the fans were seeing red and singing blues.
Let's go! Let's go!
Side, there was a game to be played. Maryland had the hot hand early on.
Dishes out to Blake, goes inside to Dixon, and in one motion takes the pass from Blake and lays it off the glass.
And State was positively ice cold as the Terps hustled to an early lead.
Picking it up is Juan Dixon. Dixon on the coast-to-coast drive, goes to the basket, lays it in.
As so often occurs in college basketball, the momentum switched. And when that happens, no lead is safe.
Wilkins on the baseline, going to work against Terrence Morris. Off balance runner, banks it off the square, and he gets the bucket. Gainey dribbling outside the arc. Goes against Steve Blake. Right side of the lane, dishes off right corner. A 3 tossed up, and it's good. And now NC State leads 20-19.
The pressure and intensity of the ACC tournament was at its height during the Pac-Terp semifinal. And for a while during the second half, it looked like no one wanted to lay claim to the championship game. But then the Terps took charge and surged ahead with 2.5 minutes to go.
The pass from Bellard to Blake, across to Dixon, layup is good, and Maryland leads 59-58. Goes to Baxter, goes against Kelly. Lost it, gets it back, lays it in with a right hand, and the Terps lead 61-58.
After a long, tenacious, and physical game that went down to the final shot, the Terps had sent Gary Williams to his first ACC title game.
Maryland heads for the finals of the ACC Tournament for the first time in 16 years.
And so at last, the ACC championship game is at hand. 7 games down, 1 to go. All in all, the first 3 days have been smooth sailing.
I'm knocking on wood right now and holding my fingers because today's a championship game, and you know, all things could break out, and then we'd have a mess on our hands. But I think we'll be prepared to handle the situations as they occur.
One group of guys prepared to handle all situations are the men who may have the hardest job in college basketball.
Let's make sure we take care of the post. Let's make sure they don't palm any balls. Take care of the benches just like every other game. You'll do fine. Everything will be okay. If something gets screwed up, let's just take care of it and we'll move on from there.
The other thing I'd remind you of, 8 by 8 by 8.
Take care of that. And you're buying dinner.
Got dinner. Rookies buy dinner.
Ray Natilli made his first ACC tournament appearance at the North Carolina State-Virginia game Friday night.
I was hoping that I wasn't going to be nervous going out there, and then I walk out there and there's 23,000 people out there, and I've worked in front of that many people before, but not with that kind of an atmosphere. And you know, with the atmosphere also of one of these teams is going home, and you have to be at your best, and it's a different feeling. You feel it in your stomach.
Whether it's Ray Natilli in his first ACC tournament or Larry Rose, an 11-year tournament veteran, ACC officials are in on every play. They take charge of the games, and they take a lot of lip.
Hey, Mike. What's that for? It's for a ref. What? So I can see.
Crowds don't bother us. Crowd, I think a lot of them think they do, but they don't affect us at all.
What are you talking about, Larry?
Coaches, there's rules that guideline them. So if you stay within the text of your rules and your common sense, you'll be okay.
This is it. It's a championship ball game. Just go out there and play your hearts out and hey, go from there. What do you say? Let's have a good show. But have fun, no matter what. Have a good one, honey.
This one is for all the marbles. The tournament winner gets a free pass to the big dance. But more than that's at stake.
It's just pride by the players themselves. They want to win that championship and get that ring. That's all I hear, that when they say, win the championship and we'll get a ring.
Experts are busy speculating on the title game.
Think about Gary Williams. Yesterday he was very emotional to learn that he'll be in the final. And now he gets that opportunity to go for the first Maryland championship in the ACC since the left-hander did it, Mr. Dressel, in 1984.
He has to get inside. If they get him the ball inside, it's going to be hard to stop him. So if he stay out of foul trouble, and like I say, if they work the ball inside, we'll beat them.
And they got to play better defense than yesterday. If they do that, they'll be fine, because they'll get the offense from their team, but it's the defense that keys everything.
Final preparations are underway, and we're just about ready to go.
1, 2, 3, wait! Let's go, come on, come on! Let's go, Jay.
Christensen with the rebound, back out to Jason for 3, yes! Side the three-point arc, Thompson in the corner to Carrawell. Chris curls around Nicholas, running left-hander up and in!
With some good defense and some solid shooting, Duke opened up an early 12-point lead, but never count out the Turtles.
Left side to Steve Blake again. Bounce pass low to Taj Holden. He's working against Battier. Shot off the glass. Nice move by the freshman.
Suddenly, the Terps were within shouting range. And when Maryland's Steve Blake connected, Maryland walked to the locker room down by only 1.
This is a great game. Maryland's playing well, Duke's playing well. Both would be worthy winners at this point in the game. Great game.
Then in the second half, Duke freshman Jason Williams took charge.
Nate James gives it to left corner. Jason turns for the three and buries it. Williams threads his way down inside, feeds it off to Boozer for the easy lay-in. Duke 71, Maryland 61 to Battier. Fakes a shot, draws company to Jason for three. Oh, Jason Williams. Oh, what a big shot.
Williams' inspired play pumped up his entire team, who rose to the occasion on both ends of the court.
He wanted to take the shot. Battier steals his pass inside, trying to hit Morris. Battier on the right wing. Sends it down to Carrawell. Chris turns, fires a three over the top. Swish! How sweet it is! Chris Carrawell.
Suddenly, Duke was up by 12 again. But this time, there would be no Terrapin comeback. Time ran out on Maryland, and Duke let the celebrating begin. Coach K's team, with its captain triumvirate, became only the 6th team in ACC history to repeat as tournament champions. They can now take their place in conference history among the finest ACC teams of all time. The first ACC tournament of the 21st century, now in the books, could boast a champion of the highest caliber. And the 9 universities that met in Charlotte for 4 days in front of the nation's most loyal and knowledgeable fans proved once again that the most competitive college basketball in the nation is played in that bastion of athletic and academic excellence known as the ACC.